Well, hello, my fabulous friends. I hope you're doing well. I got the most special surprise in the mail yesterday. Honestly, I have the most wonderful viewers, the most precious audience, um, the most, the most of the most understanding, beautiful people surrounding me on this channel. I don't know what I'd do without you. I honestly don't. The kindness and love and support and encouragement. Um, to be frank, I've never felt anything like this in my life. This warmth, this support. Um, at first it's very foreign to me, and I'm still in awe of it, and I never want it to become ordinary. So thank you. Thank you. But anyways, look what I got in the mail yesterday from somebody who obviously a follower, and I've done many readings for her, and it's from Hull in the UK. And we also have a Hull here in Canada, Hull. And she wrote a little note here, and I just thought that was really, I did not know Hull had a beautiful, that must be like an abbey or cathedral. Anyways, looks so beautiful, looks so charming. I'd love just to sit on this bench all day and take it all in. So this is where it's coming from, but look what it is. Crystal Soap Collection. So it's infused with heart-shaped crystals, a cleansing ritual for hands, body, and soul. So one of them is frankincense and adventuring. And look, there's soaps shaped like crystals, and inside is a crystal. And they have essential oils. So this is frankincense, and then it has adventurine in it. And then the next one is lavender amethyst. So there's an amethyst in there, and you can see it right at the end there. And it's look at it, even has like the gold flakes in it, so shaped like a crystal. And then the rose with the rose quartz. Look how beautiful these are. Like seriously, like somebody took the time in their world, in their life, to gather this, to wrap it all up, to take it to the post office, to make sure that I got it. And I'm just, I'm gobsmacked. I'm so appreciative and stunned and touched. These beautiful things that people send me all the time. I just don't know. Like I said, I've never had anything like this in my life. And it's beautiful, and I never want it to end. So thank you. That doesn't mean send me things, please. Please, please, please. I appreciate them all so much. And it's really nice when once in a while I get a surprise like this in the mail. It just really makes my day. But you know what? So does your beautiful comments and your likes and your shares and your hypes, and it all means something. It all means something. So tonight, Friday night, my husband's not at home, and I am going to make myself a beautiful bubble bath with a beautiful glass of rosé wine, and I'm going to use the rose and rose quartz soap tonight, and just really indulge and surround myself with all the love that I get from my viewers. So thank you, thank you, thank you, thank you. And this is from um, uh, Eveline. Eveline. I won't say your last name, Eveline. Sorry, but I do want to acknowledge you, but I also want to keep your privacy as well. You know what's so interesting? She sent this on the 19th of March, and I already have it all the way from the UK, a parcel from the UK. I have people I've sent their mystical mysteries card, and here in Canada, and they still haven't gotten it. I have one lady, it's been a month, and I know I sent it. I remember writing her name, and she believes me I did. But a month to get from here to Vancouver. Like, are you kidding me? And yet this was sent on the 19th, so less than 10 days, and I have it. Fantastic. Anyways, I thought everybody would enjoy seeing that. I cannot wait. And a beautiful bubble bath, beautiful glass of rosé with my rose soap, with my infused with rose crystals and rose essential oil. Ah, what was that? Calgon, take me away. Right? Okay, so anyways, let's get to our reading today. This is so... One of the things I said about the Tom Bauer book was that I wanted it to be confirmation of some of the things we were reading about, right? Do you remember me saying that? If anything, I just wanted confirmation, right, of our suspicions that nobody in the mainstream media has ever confirmed. It was all kind of sources said and whatnot. And one thing I like about Tom Bauer's book, and I'm in Canada, I don't have it, I'm just reading little excerpts of it on the internet, is that he footnotes everything. So if he says something, there's the number of the footnote, and you can check his references. So it's, did you see I posted on X? I said, oh, that we found Meghan's review, and it said all lies, and it should be, and it's fiction. Oh, there's 1 star, Meghan's review. So anyways, this caught my eye, because how many of us have said Meghan was sent by somebody? Meghan has a handler. Tom Bauer exposes who that handler is, and it names him. And now this all makes sense. This handler is a communist who hates monarchy and is trying to take down the monarchy. Do you remember, who remembers, I think it was about 2 years ago, that one girl who said, and she was biracial in Texas and an actress or whatever, and they asked her to play the part of Harry's wife, and she said no. And when she saw Meghan marrying Harry, she said, oh, they found their actress. And I did the reading, like, was she telling the truth? And she was absolutely telling the truth. So a lot of us have felt that Meghan was sent, but once she got kicked out of the royal family, she was no longer useful. Well, in some sense, she still is useful. She can create a ruckus, but maybe the mission has changed by now. And just knowing who this person is and the lies he does and the things that he supports, he's very communist, and he supports a lot of communism. And I'm going to give you his name right now. And this is the Wool Painter, WOOL, the Wool Painter on X. So she posted this, so I'd like to give her credit where credit's due. Okay, so they're talking about when they were in Colombia, all right? So, it starts here on the eve of welcoming the Sussexes. So this is the Colombia trip. Marquez began to fear the backlash. The former housemaid was frequently condemned by her opponents as the biggest fraud in the Black community for doing nothing for the poor but spending a lot of money on herself. So they're talking about this Marquez. As a known anti-royalist, her critics said she was cynically using the Sussexes to divert attention from the scandals of a corrupt, violent government. So the Sussexes were being used by the corrupt, violent Colombian government to distract with what they were doing. Got it? Okay. On Marquez orders, the source of funding for the Sussexes' trip was to remain a secret. Although Marquez would claim that Archwell paid for their hotel and travel expenses, the costs have not appeared on Archwell's accounts. As the government guessed, the Sussexes would not expect to pay. So obviously they were invited by the Colombian government. Their hotels, the presidential suite at the Four Seasons in Bogota And the best suites at the Sofitel Engine in Cartagena and at the Marriott in Cali cost about £2,500 per night. In addition, they would need 8 rooms for their entourage. To rebuke those Colombian politicians questioning the £2.9 million cost of the Sussex's trip, Marquez would publish official accounts identifying the total government costs at just £44,725. Well, that's what a corrupt government does. That always happens in Canada. That was the remainder, she said, was funded by a philanthropic resources. That was a reference to Open Society. My Canadian friends know who this Open Society is. An international charity fund financed by George Soros, the billionaire fund manager. Marquez agrees with Meghan that Soros' involvement should be kept secret, including their use of his private jet. So that's who's funding the Flopples. That's our King of Pentacles. It's right there in Tom Bauer's book. There's no way Tom Bauer would have pointed a finger at George Soros and the Open Society. No wonder they came to Canada. The Open Society has been trying to undermine democracy in Canada for probably 2 decades now. George Soros wants us to shut down our oil. And he damn near succeeded. He's a big problem in Canada. He's a big problem in the United States. He's not allowed in Russia. It's George Soros. So those of us who said Meghan has a handler have been vindicated. It says right there that George Soros funded that trip to Colombia. George Soros funds their jets. George Soros funds all of it. The Open Society, and a communist group trying to bring down democracy. And that's who Meghan and Harry are playing with. And George Soros is very anti-monarchist. So let's ask. Let's ask the cards. Has Meghan Markle always been associated with George Soros? Or was she approached through Jeffrey Epstein? Did Harry know that Meghan was planted by George Soros? Like all of a sudden things are coming. I'm getting downloads like that money didn't come from Netflix. That money came from George Soros, but under the guise of Netflix. Is that who funded their Archwell at $10 million? Is that who's been funding all of this? We all know, according to my sources, Netflix is one big money laundering scheme. So is that where George Soros said, okay, because why in the world would Netflix give them $100 million unproven numpties? Like seriously, that'd be like me walking into Netflix and saying, hey, I've never produced a show. I've done some D-list acting, 7 minutes worth. I was a yacht girl, but we got a prince here, and yeah, he's a bit of a dummy, but that's all got to be worth at least $100 million. No, I think Soros paid them, and it was laundered through Netflix, and that's why Netflix kept hanging on. It really wasn't Netflix money. I think we found the smoking gun here. So let's see what the cards have to say about Meghan and George Soros. Ace of Swords, that's the truth. We got it. Bingo. The truth, that's, thank you for coming to my TED Talk. There's no way Tom Bauer would have put that in his book. George Soros would have been all over him like a wet rag. And boom, Ace of Swords. The truth. Let's find out what's more about the truth. The magician, he's the one who's been manufacturing everything. He's been the one manifesting everything. That's been Meghan's manifestation. George Soros. You want me to do this? Daddy-o? Mr. Billionaire? Hanging around the creepiest man in the world? And I don't say that lightly. He is the creepiest man. He's almost like one of those really old lizards. With dry, peeling skin. No lips. No teeth. Ugh. Ugh. King of Cups, or Knight of Cups in reverse. Well, there's the red flag. 9 of Pentacles. He found a sucker. A couple of different levels. Did I say that out loud? 7 of Swords. You know, I'm going to say that he thought he found a great actress. He thought he found somebody who would do it. He thought he'd be very successful. But with these 2 cards in reverse beside it, I think he realized that, you know, she wasn't that great. She really wasn't. And as hard as he tried to spin things and create things and create opportunities and manifest things for her, you just can't get around what a loser she is. Like, according to my sources, you just really can't. And also with this showing me that she was the one who brought George Soros into Harry's life. I wonder now if the Queen found out, and that's one of the reasons they were kicked out. Because the Queen would have found out by MI5 or MI6. Right? They would have quickly found out about that. George Soros hates the monarchy. Absolutely hates them. The Star in reverse. Knight of Swords in reverse, attacking with words. Almost getting like Knight of Soros, attacking. 7 of Pentacles, yeah. They were in it for, look at, they've been at it for 7 years. This is a long-term, look at 9 of Pentacles, 7 of Pentacles. This is her longest acting job she's ever had. This is a long-term sitcom. She's turned the royal family into a soap opera. Now, what's a soap opera? It just runs, continually runs and runs and runs and runs and runs. The only time you get written out is when you get fired or you quit. Otherwise, and she did do, her dad did manage to get her a bit part on, I think it was General Hospital. Nine of Cups, there's her wish, there's her billionaire wish. George Soros is the King of Pentacles. The Hanged Man, they're now stuck with him though. They possibly have signed a contract that they can't get out of. The High Priestess. This is, you know what, I'm going to say that Harry was trapped into this. Harry had no idea. Because, I mean, he's really not bright. He really isn't the sharpest knife in the drawer. Like, he's probably the spoon in the knife drawer. And then it was too late. By the time he realized where the money really was coming from, all this is the open secret society that George Soros has. Oh, 4 of Swords. I'm surprised they weren't invited to his son's wedding, to tell you the truth. 2 of Wands. You know what? After George Soros dies, they might not have a contract. The Moon. Oh, look at this. And the Sun. The moon in reverse and the sun in reverse is nighttime, is darkness, right? The moon upright is full moon. Full moon. In reverse, it's the new moon. And the sun at night, the sun in reverse is night. And interesting, he's holding the earth here. And look at who we got. The harlot, trying to make herself look like a star. And even the star shows us in reverse that she was never a star. She'll never be a star. She's a really shitty actress. Sorry, pardon my French. Might have to edit that out. Here's the Queen of Swords in reverse. I think that that's one of the reasons they're staying together. She has to stay married to him to maintain the contract, because she has a job to do, and that's to bother the monarchy. There it is, Queen of Swords. There's the divorce card. There she is, the Eight of the harlot in reverse. She's done a terrible job. And I did read long ago that they were kicked out. Now, not a lot of people believe me. Not everybody's on that page. And I said when they were kicked out, the money kind of dried up. But they went to George Soros' buddy's house on Vancouver Island. Look it up. I never expected George Soros. Ever. I thought it was like, we were digging around Jeffrey Epstein because of Andrew's connection, and there still might be a connection there, because they all run in the same circles. It's the Jeffrey Epstein class. That's all. That's where Meghan's so-so friends hang out. I think this is something's going to happen here to blow this open. I'm going to say there's no way they can get out of this one. We need to spread this far and wide that George Soros is funding Meghan and Harry. That's where they're getting their money from. We were all like confused, like, where are they getting their money from? George Soros, billions. I think it's going to dry up, though. I think when George Soros dies, I think their contract debt is dead. Or if they get divorced. Is that why they aren't getting divorced, even though they don't live together? Let's quickly ask. And I kept saying the contract was with Netflix. The contract was with Netflix. It's not. See how sometimes you get a bug and you're just like, I know there's something there. I know there's something there. So, right, because Meghan is nothing without Harry. She has, like right now, even with Harry, she has zero contacts with the royal family, but she can be a bug in their bonnet, right? Let's ask. Let's quickly ask. Let's do a quick layout here. If they get divorced, is the contract over? If they get divorced, is Meghan's contract over? It looks like it's all Meghan's contract. And then she had to make up things why she was getting this money. It looks like it's all Meghan's contract. So if they get divorced, is the contract over? And is that why they aren't getting divorced? There's the divorce card. And that would be the end of the contract, right? Queen of Swords in reverse is the undoing of a contract. Yeah, Meghan, there she goes. There it is. The cards are saying yes. Five of Swords. She's kind of trapped and bullied into this. It's her contract. It's not Harry's. It's her contract. Nine of Swords. Look at all the swords. And Two of Wands. I'm going to say yes, because it's her contract. And part of her contract, I'm going to say is to remain married, because the Queen of Swords here in reverse is my divorce card. Ooh, the Emperor in reverse. Yes, it's to get to the king, whether it's this king or the next king. Eight of Wands, upright, yeah. Oh, Three of Pentacles, for sure. Look at Nine of Swords in reverse. Once she got her claw into Harry, that was the hardest part. getting him to marry her. So she used the oldest trick in the book. We're wrapping a lot of things up here, and that was the plans to get her into the royal family. The hanged man, they found the idiot prince who had a broken todger. She got her wish, 9 of Cups, there she is. According to Crazy Days and Nights, she drinks herself to sleep every night. Wheel of Fortune in reverse. Yes, if she gets divorced, there's no moving forward, and the money is gone and dried up, along with the private jets. You know, Crazy Days and Nights, and I believe even Neil Sean has hinted, they never pay for a flight. It's always a friend paying for it or somebody they know. And here we go. It's George Soros, the Fool in reverse. Yes, if she divorces Harry, it's the end of the money train. It's the end of the money train because it's the end of access to the royal family. And Harry's now stuck, and she knows it. She knows it. She's got something on him. He's stuck. I don't know, maybe she's got filmed him doing cocaine. Maybe she's filmed him watching porn. I don't know. What? I mean, I have no idea what goes through her peeny little head. But yes, if she gets divorced, it's the end of it. Done. So that's why they aren't getting divorced. And that's why she keeps dragging Harry back. She needs the money. He's her billionaire. What did we just read? Thank you very much for watching. Please take good care. See you online. Bye for now.